Hey lovelies, it's Anne coming to you live to do this training on how to 10x your DM conversations and enroll more clients. If you're a coach or consultant or any kind of expert in your field, you want to have more impact through DM conversations. This training is for you. Today I'll be sharing how to 10x your messenger conversations so you can enroll more clients. And what I should also have said, because this would have been a bit more of a selling strategy, this is all inbound. This is all warm. This is no cold outreach that I'm talking about here, because that's not what I do and that's not what I teach, although it works, right? Today, more than ever before, gorgeous ladies, people are looking for genuine connection. And especially if you're selling high ticket, the connections you make in the DMs will be what results in sales. Before I get into the details of this training, let me super quickly introduce myself to those of you who may be new to my world. My name is Anne Ryan. I'm a business mentor and a money mindset coach, and I help coaches and consultants and course creators and other service providers as well from time to time to package and position their value so they can earn more and work less whilst keeping their business super, super simple, right? If you are not sure how I do that, it is through helping clients to create and sell high ticket offers. And we put systems in place that allow them to earn multiple six figures working less than 4 hours most days. So on Monday this week, I started a mid-year cash injection sprint with 7 incredible women, and some of them are here today. Hello, good to see you, Mavis. And we have all set ourselves a goal to build more momentum in 1 month than we have so far this year. And we're building our audience daily, creating high converting content daily, and we're going to be connecting in the DMs daily as well, right? And so I thought this would be helpful for me to share this free training because it'll benefit everyone. But of course, my paying clients, we go a lot deeper and we get more specific based on their personal situations, how we can kind of take this information and then apply it to them, right? So there's no cold outreach or spamming. And already they are starting to enroll clients. And we've only barely just got started. So I got a DM yesterday from an amazing woman in the sprint, and she's got 2 yeses in the DMs for a new offer that she's got coming up in September. Now, if you want to be in a high proximity container with a maximum of 10 women and you're ready to build more momentum than you have so far this year, #sprint, and the investment is $1,497. And typically, every client who's had a proven offer and a warm audience has made between 10K and 100K in their first 30 days of working with me, right? So, which is why I sort of run these sprints, because I know what is possible. Today, I wanted to deliver this training on how to 10x your messenger conversations and sign up more clients. Now, as I've mentioned already, there are 2 distinctly different types of messenger conversations that you can make sales from, right? One of them is cold DMs, and one of them is warm DMs, right? And everything I'm going to be sharing today is about warm DMs. Now, there's something also really weird going on with my screen. Because I have some notes so I don't forget what I want to talk about, and it's kind of going all over the place, but I think I've sort of fixed the problem. Hold on just 1 second. All right, so warm and cold, right? There's nothing wrong with cold outreach, by the way. There's absolutely nothing wrong with cold outreach. Cold messaging is a well-known strategy that works for many businesses, but it's not my preferred way of doing business. I prefer warm messaging. In other words, people are expecting a message from me, right? And it makes it a much easier conversation which can then lead to a sale. as well, right? And so who here, I would love to know, connects with their audience via the DMs, via Messenger? Is it mainly warm? Is it cold? Cold DMs can be effective when they are done well, right? And there's zero judgment from me. I really truly admire people who are willing to do whatever it takes to grow their business, to to have as much impact as they can possibly have, because ultimately that is why we have all become coaches, right, and consultants, and we want to serve, we want to make a difference. Geneva says warm. Awesome. Yeah, look, so there's nothing wrong with cold, it's just about how it's done. Yeah, that's the thing. There are many ways, and I'm going to be talking about 10 suggestions with you now. So if you like, you can grab a pen or paper, or come back and watch this again, because I'm going to be sharing lots of different ways. Now, the first and most effective way I do this is I leverage my Facebook group, this group, yeah. And the third question that I ask when people join this group is, I say, I specialize in helping female coaches and consultants to up-level and sell their high-ticket offers. I can't remember the exact words, right? And to reach, multiple six figures, working less than 4 hours a day. Would you like me to reach out to share how? Something like that, yeah? And about 1 in 3 or 4 people say yes. So that is a really easy way to start a conversation with someone, right? Because they're actually giving us permission. They're saying yes as they're joining this group. Yeah. So a large percentage of my DM conversations come that way. Now, this is an open invitation for me to message someone, and the question is, do you have that already in place? If you don't, that is something that you can do, right? So that's the first tip. The second idea that I have and that I use all the time is a direct call to action post, yeah, where you might say, I want to work with 3 women to help them to achieve a particular result within a specific period of time. Who wants this? Yeah, I do that all the time. Not too often, right? Because otherwise people will stop paying attention, but it can be incredibly effective. Directly, we are here to do business. We are here to serve. So don't be afraid to be super direct and say, hey, I'm looking to help this type of person achieve this type of result within this period of time. Do you want this? Simple, colored background, 1 or 2 sentence, that is it. Done, right? And people will comment below or send a DM, whichever way. I will ultimately take those people into the DMs to have a deeper conversation. I personally don't book calls, but you can absolutely book a call from that, or you can have a conversation in the DMs and see if what you have to offer is a good fit and whether they're the right client for you, right? And so incredibly effective. Yeah, that's really a great way to connect from your group, Geneva. Absolutely. The first one, it's so easy, right? Just to say, this is who I am, this is what I do. Would you like me to reach out? And like I said, 1 in about 3 or 4 people will say yes. I get many of them daily, yeah, because this group is just growing daily. So if someone comments on my post that I just mentioned with the direct call to action, I take that conversation into the DMs. Back when I used to do calls, I would then say, hey, would you like to hop on a quick call? We can have let's see if it's a good fit. I can share some insights, that kind of thing. But now I just have the DMs, the conversation in the DMs, right? So are you sharing direct call to action posts, right? Let me know. Number 3, moving on. I'm going to whiz through this, ladies. indirect call to action posts, right? So this is a post where you offer your audience something you think they may want, right? For example, I created a post that said, I've created a free masterclass on how to 10x your messenger conversations and close more sales. Who wants it? Who wants access? Yeah. So that is a really quick and easy way, again, to have DM conversations, because people say yes to what it is that you're offering for free. It could be a free training, it could be a lead magnet, it could be anything like that, right? And that results in so many people saying yes. And then I tend to take those conversations to the DMs, always give them what it is that they've asked for. And then I can at that point. I don't do some of these strategies as much anymore, but I definitely used to, right? I could at that point start a conversation and say, I'd love to know, do you sell in the DMs, or, what sort of business do you have, or what are you looking to achieve in your business? And I could actually take that conversation further in the DMs as well, right? But I tend to just kind of say, here's the link, come watch the training. And inside of my training, I will also tell them about the work that I do, right? Which I'll be talking to you more about that. These indirect call to action posts often lead to, like for me, they can lead to 50 DM conversations a week, easily, right? Sometimes hundreds. Yeah. And I don't have time to have all those conversations, right? So I don't do that as much. But if you have the time, if you don't have as many clients, but you have the time, then that's where you can build the connections, and that's how you can convert those people into clients, right? So are you doing indirect call to action posts where you're offering something of value, and then that leads to a DM conversation, and you absolutely, of course, you give them what it is that you offered, right? Facebook Lives, number 4, exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm practicing what I'm preaching here. This is a great opportunity to invite people into a DM conversation, right? I'm sharing incredible value, and I'm also going to say, hey, this is the work that I do. If you want to find out more, whether you want to find out more about this training, or whether you want to find out more about my mastermind, or whether you want to find out more about the sprint that I'm running right now, comment a particular word, #sprint, #support, #ready, something like that, and send me a DM. Because see, some people don't like to publicly comment, right? So some people are happy to just directly send you a DM. And it works, right? You can immediately get people in your DM. So share the value, but at the same time, we're here to serve, right? So we want to invite people to have conversations with us to see if we can actually help them. So Facebook Lives. Facebook Lives are not your friend, Mavis, but we'll start a part of this 4-week sprint. It's time. Yeah. Look, and Facebook Lives do take practice, right? Some people love camera, some people love video, some people find it hard. I promise you, I have done hundreds of hours of Facebook Lives by now. I have been consistently doing Facebook Lives, right? And so, of course, for me now, it's easy, yeah? And ladies, I am a business coach. I very much focused on high ticket offers, on building authority. I have the pillars that I speak about. So I'm quite repetitive too. I talk about the same thing often, right? And so and it's okay, because people need to hear the same thing over and over again too, right? We don't need to come up with something different every time. Sure, we don't want to come and do the absolute same training every single week, because then that gets really boring for us as well as it does for our audience. But if we're actually building our audience continuously, then repeating the same training every now and then, every 6 weeks or so, is not a bad thing, because there are going to be new people who are coming into our world who haven't seen the previous training, and we can always deliver it from a slightly different angle every time. I think the last time I delivered this particular training was back in about 2022, right? Because I don't know, I forgot to deliver it again. And then because I'm talking about this in the sprint, I thought, hey, why not? Let me do this training. My clients, my audience, everyone can get the benefit, and then we can take it deeper as we have the more private conversations too. You shy away from them also, Crystal. Listen, let me also make it super clear. You do not have to do Facebook Lives to be successful, right? There are so many different ways to build a business. I'm just sharing things that I do, right? I only teach stuff that I do and what works for me. But equally, I have clients who don't do Facebook Lives, and it's okay. Yeah. But we do need to give people the opportunity to feel our energy as well. Yeah. And you can build a lot of trust through video and through Facebook Lives and that kind of thing. But you can also pre-record stuff, right? If you feel like you need to be a little bit more organized, I always have notes, always have notes, right? But often I'm referring to my notes from 2022 because, and I just use the notes, but then I talk about what's happening now and what is current now, right? So I've just got a few bullet points to keep me on track. All right. Number 5, transformational posts, right? These are story posts where I share about where I was a few months ago and where I am now, that kind of thing. Clients, where they've been and where they are now. That's really kind of like another type of post that you can share, which, I keep them, so I'm going to keep them as point 5 and point 6, right? Tip 5 and tip 6, because they're two very different types of content where you can say, if you want results like this, drop this particular word or send me a DM. So you can talk about your own transformation. Yeah, that's the thing. If we are the embodiment of the work that we do, we can talk about that. Where we were and where we are now. And if people want results like us, come and join me. Let me help you to fast track your journey, to collapse time, to get to where I've got to in a fraction of the time, because you can learn all the mistakes. You can learn from all the mistakes that I've made. Yeah. And so another type, like I said, the 6th type tip for getting more people in the DMs is to share client results, client testimonials, case studies, interviews, that kind of thing. There's no better marketing for your business than to share client results, right? Client testimonials, case studies, that kind of thing. And you can have a call to action on those posts. And, if people want results like you've been able to achieve for your clients, then they're going to reach out to you, right? So last week I shared about my amazing client Fiona, who'd hit $28,000 in her first 2 weeks of working with me, and then went on to have a $60,000 launch a month later. Yeah. A couple of weeks ago, I shared that my amazing client Amber had made, coincidentally, $60,000 in her first month, just from making behind the scenes sales to her existing clients, right? So I am going to be sharing this, because if people want those kinds of results, then they're going to be, interested and they will send me a DM or they will comment below, and then we can have a DM conversation from that. Every time I share client results and testimonials, I invite people who want similar results to reach out. Yeah. Think about it. So don't miss that opportunity to do that. Tip number 7, a promotion. Run a promotion. You know, it could be because your price is increasing. It could be because you're adding a new bonus. It could be that you've updated your training or your branding, or you've got a new offer, or whatever it might be, right? And don't be afraid to sell directly from your content, but you invite people into the DMs to have those conversations, right? Because you're offering, so for example, the sprint is the thing that right now I'm promoting. Yeah. Sometimes I might say my mastermind, which is a year-long container, anyone can join at any time, right? So then how do I create that urgency for them to join now, for them to reach out and have the conversation now, is by saying, all right, for the month of July or whatever the month I'm in, I'm going to be including 1 month of one-to-one. Or I might include a, Voxer support. Or I might include a bonus training that isn't typically included in that program, right? So whatever it is, so then there's a focus, right? There's a particular focus that you're promoting, and you invite people to send you DMs, to comment below, and then that leads to more conversations. Tip number 8 is sending emails to your email list and giving them your messenger link for them to reach out and have a conversation with you. Yeah. These may seem like really simple things, but trust me, a lot of people are not doing this. Yeah. You can use a button on your email, or even less sophisticated, but it works the same way. You can just have the link, the m.me link. Yeah. m.me / and the end of your name on your personal profile. Yeah. That will bring people directly into your DMs when they have that link. Yeah. So you could send an email, tell them about whatever it is that you want to tell them, even if it is the content that you're sharing on social media, also share it with your email list, because not everyone is seeing everything that you're sharing, right? And then you have your messenger link directly from the email. They can click on it and they can be in your DMs. Number 9. I've forgotten how many fingers I have. Number 9. People who cold message me. I am always super polite and willing to turn those conversations into sales opportunities for me. Yeah. It depends who it is. Like if it's very obviously a cut and paste appointment setter, then I won't. Yeah, but if I feel like I'm speaking directly to the person who's sending me the message, I might turn around. I'm always polite with everyone, but I might turn around and say, hey, would you like to learn how to scale your business without sending cold DMs? Would you like to have a conversation about that? And I've opened up conversations from there, right? And so if nothing else, we're building a connection. Yeah, because that's what this is all about. It's about building connections, because those connections will eventually lead to sales. And the 10th tip and the final one is your Facebook stories. Yeah. Polls are my favorite when I do them, but there are so many different ways to get people from your stories to send you a DM. Yeah, and because people are consuming content in so many different ways. So it's not always in our written posts. Some people are more in the stories. Some people check emails more. That's why it's kind of really important to think about all these different places where you can still redirect people to come to slide into your DMs. Yeah. And stories can be really, really effective for that. So I'd love to know, ladies, tell me in the comments, how many of these things are you already doing? How many things can you go ahead and implement right now? Maybe it's something you haven't considered before. Maybe it's something that you feel a little bit unsure about, but all these different strategies work, right? Do you do it in your group now? What are you asking me, Mavis? I'm not sure if you're asking me or if you're asking Crystal that question, by the way, but yeah. So when it comes to Facebook Lives, which is what we were talking about earlier, I always do it in my Facebook group. Yeah. So it gives people a reason. So I promote what I'm doing in my Facebook group on my personal profile, and it gives people a reason to say, yes, please. So then I can bring them into the Facebook group as well. So that's a really good strategy to kind of, to move people through that kind of invisible funnel that we're creating, where they get more and more connection and become closer and closer to actually making a buying decision. See, ladies, I love attraction marketing methods, right? And that's what I do and teach. And when it comes to high ticket sales, which is, the second part of the reason for messenger conversations, quite honestly, because they need a lot more connection. Yeah. People are not just going to click on a link and buy when it comes to high ticket. They need that connection. They need to know that they're talking to a real person, a real human. Yeah. And so that connection is really, really important. If we serve without expectation and really connect with people, right, it's all in the conversation that we're having, and really get to know them, the sales will come. They'll come. And this is not about spamming or cutting and pasting messages into the DMs, right? Cold DMs have a bad rap or reputation because most people do it so badly. It's not that it can be done well, whether it's cold or warm. Yeah, it can be done really, really well. It's just that most people are just doing it really, really bad. What we see now is what I refer to as the churn and burn method, right? It's like AI appointment setters, and it's just cut and paste, and it's impersonal, and it's maybe, 1 in 50 messages may get a response. Yeah, that's not how I want to run my business. I don't care if other people do. That's fine for them. But what I'm referring to is much more of that personal connection, right? Because that cut and paste, impersonal, that's not what connection looks like. Like if you had conversations where your goal is to really understand the person that you're speaking to, your service will not go unnoticed and will eventually result in sales. The little bit of extra time it takes to connect with someone, honestly, will always pay off in the long run. Yeah. I'm personally more focused on quality connections rather than quantity. So, do you feel like you're connecting in the DMs? Do you feel like it's salesy? Let me know, right? Because it shouldn't feel salesy. It should feel like just a conversation with a friend. No problem, Mavis. I only have my profile. And listen, and profile is enough, right? We don't have to have a Facebook group to be successful. If I had my time again, I probably wouldn't necessarily build a Facebook group because it's a little bit of extra work. Yeah. But But now I'm very clear on what I do on my personal profile and what I do inside my Facebook group. And basically, I just do my main, my highest value stuff inside of my Facebook group. So it gives people a reason to then, they have to comment, they have to ask to get access, right? Unless they're already in the Facebook group. Awesome. I love your sprint challenge. Facebook Lives and direct call to action and email with direct link to the DMs. Yeah, perfect. I promise you, as I say, Mavis, nobody dies, right? We need to keep challenging ourselves and pushing ourselves, nudging ourselves outside of our comfort zone, right? So we can really lean into like a whole new level of abundance that's available to us that isn't available to us now because we are playing way too small. It's that simple, right? DM conversations is not a hard skill to master, but so many people are so focused on their own agenda and they are so impatient that they don't end up making a sale. Yeah. I have clients who have connected with me and they've signed up in the very same day, in one day, in a matter of hours. And I have other clients who've taken months and we've gone back and forth, and that's okay, right? It doesn't matter. Everyone has their own timeline. People buy when they're ready, and pushing people into a purchase often results in a nightmare client. I'm sorry. And people who may worse still want refunds. Yeah, because they've been pushed into it. And that's a very masculine sales strategy that I certainly don't teach, and I'm sure none of you do. Nobody died. Yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing, we kind of like get so up in arms about trying new things, but really it's just giving something a go, and really observing the thoughts that are coming up for us when we're doing something new and something different and something that feels a little bit uncomfortable. So, as coaches, we do need to activate people, right? We do need to activate our prospects to make that decision. But ultimately, I don't push anyone because they, if they need pushing, they're not the right clients. Yeah. What we have to always remember is people who like, love, and comment on our content are great people to have in our community, right? But they aren't always the buyers. Sometimes the buyers are quietly hanging back and observing and waiting, right? They're waiting to be sure before they interact. And when they do, they are often really ready to buy too. So as long as we're consistent and keep planting seeds and keep putting these call to actions out, asking them to comment, asking them to DM, the clients will enroll, right? And as I've shared for the last couple of years now, I haven't even offered sales calls. So the DM conversations have been key to my sales. And, and I've been making sort of sales up to $30,000, $40,000 just in DM conversations, right? And I'll be completely honest and transparent. What I'm teaching now, I don't do as much of anymore, right? Because I don't have the time as much to follow up people or to kind of have these lengthy, long conversations, right? So if you're ready to grow your business without hustling and would like to join my 4-week intensive that I've talked about, the mid-year cash injection sprint, it is not too late. We're only a couple of days in and we've still got a lot of time left to build a lot of momentum. So #sprint or send me a DM. Here you go. I'm practicing what I'm preaching. This is for you if you want to build more momentum in 1 month than you have so far this year, right? We are taking action. Alternatively, if you'd like to explore what working with me in my mastermind or one of my other containers, one-to-one or in a circle looks like, again, send me a DM, right? I'd be honored to have a conversation. There's no hard sale, guaranteed. I'll just share some information. We'll, both figure out if it is a good fit and we can go from there. Thank you so much, gorgeous ladies, for being here. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you're catching the replay, if you have any questions at all. And if I have missed any questions, I will come back and answer them. Thanks so much. Bye.